Hello and welcome to my dungeon. I left the dungeon and I have regret. I haven't been to the grocery store in like a week and a half. Not really something that I planned, but I didn't go to the grocery store for a really long time. And so it was finally time for me to go to the grocery store, and I was like, I'm gonna do it. So I got my bags, my cloth bags, and then I got in my new car, and then I got to the grocery store, and I sat in the car and I was like, I can do this, because sometimes I overwhelm myself because I go in and instead of following my list, I get like everything else, and today was also restock the Dr. Pepper day, which means I was gonna buy a lot of Dr. Pepper. I know it's easy to watch a YouTube video and be like, wow, this girl's really, talkative and she's really outgoing and energetic and stuff. Maybe you pick up on that, maybe you don't. If you don't, you're correct. Well, the thing is, I do like being social. I'm shy, and I'm also incredibly awkward just because like I had a weird childhood. Like I started out fine, and then like in my beginning of my developmental years, we moved from Texas to Georgia, and then I got bullied for a long time, and then I got weird. And also too, like as I was becoming a teenager, you know how like kids watch TV and they can say like some bad words, and then you can watch TV and like learn how other people communicate and like stuff. I didn't have that. I wasn't allowed to watch TV. So I learned how to socialize through my brother, who was 3 years younger than me, my friends who were a little weird. They were allowed to watch TV and stuff. I just wasn't. So they were allowed to, have access to the internet. I wasn't. And so there was a lot of stuff that I just kind of was a little stunted on, but it just also kind of just made me who I am, And also too, just going through what I went through, that definitely didn't help add to the, this. So whenever I say I'm socially awkward or shy, I'm not saying it to be like, hee, I'm so quirky. I don't like it. It's not fun. I like to be social. I just don't know what to say. I feel awkward. I feel like no one really cares about me, and no one really cares about what I have to say. So I make videos on the internet because it's your choice to click it. It's your choice to watch it, I'm just yapping. So I'm sitting in the car, time to go get groceries. I get out of the car. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get a cart, and then, I have my list of foods I'm gonna get for like the next few days. Like it's gonna be great. It's gonna be fine. And so as I'm walking up, I see two men at the entrance of the grocery store, and I was like, they had like the vest of like, they were, how like Dare sometimes works outside of like stores, like, hey, can you sign this pamphlet so we can get rid of the drugs and the blah 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 blah, and you're like, oh, please don't talk to me, right? Normally when I go to the grocery store and there's people there, I usually am just like, hey, I'm so sorry, I have to just get in, get out, because that's true. Like I don't really have time to talk. I got stuff to do, One guy was here and one guy was here, and the carts were here. I start getting overwhelmed, and it's hot. It's like 103 degrees outside, and I'm trying to get inside, right? And I'm like, I'm already nervous. So I'm walking up, and I'm like, maybe they won't talk to me, because sometimes that's what happens. Sometimes I'm like, and then they don't say anything. I don't know if it's because I look angry, or if it's I look sad, or they just don't want to talk to me. I'm walking up, and I hear, excuse me, miss. And I was like, I'm so sorry, I just have to get in real quick. I'm sorry. And he's like, okay. I walk in, and then I'm like, I haven't gotten groceries in almost 2 weeks, and I have a list of a lot of groceries, and today is a Dr. Pepper day. I need a cart. My social awkwardness was like, well, we can't get back out there. We can't get a cart. They're both waiting there. That one guy's in front of it. Like, you can't get a cart. Please move. You were scratching me and I don't like it. Was that necessary? That hurt. So anyway, I'm standing there in the middle of the grocery store. Like, I made it through the doors, but then I'm like, I have to get a basket instead of a cart. So I walk over and I get a basket. I'm like, all right, so I'm only gonna get one meal. I'm gonna get soup. And of course, because it's me, I start picking up, oh, hummus. Hummus would be great. Oh, I have to get chips for the hummus. I would pick up chips. Oh, there's these 2 microwavable chicken dishes that we could get. That would be really good to get for like after a stream if I didn't eat and I'm really hungry. So I got 2 of those, put it in the thing. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go get the regular chicken now. So I got regular chicken because that goes in the soup, and then I was like, I'll have to go get rice, and I have to go get the rice, and oh, I have to get 2 boxes of rice. So I got 2 boxes of rice. Oh, I have to get heavy whipping cream, and I got the basket was overfilling, and I was looking at it and it was heavy, and so I was looking at it and I'm like, I still have to get vegetables, I still have to get I have to get bread, and then Dr. Pepper. I was like, what am I doing? I was like, just go get the cart, Kate. And I'm like, no, they're outside. And I was like, I cannot go outside, I cannot get the cart, we're just dealing with the basket. I'm like, fine. So instead of, going out being awkward, getting a cart to, I just was awkward and walked around the entire grocery store with a massive basket, overfilling. And then, so, as I go around, I'm like, oh, I'm a genius. And so I had, all the cloth bags. So I start filling those up. So I put my bread, and then I put some like tea, and then I put some blah, blah, and but then I go to the Dr. Pepper section. I was like, well, maybe, here's the thing. When I stock up on Dr. Pepper, it's because, 12 packs, they're like $8. But the grocery store, they sell them, and you can get 3 12 packs for like $12. Which is a steal, right? Maybe they're not doing that sale today and then I only have to get one. They were doing the sale. And so I sat there and I was like, all right, plan. We leave the basket here. We go get a cart. We come back real quick. And I'm like, no, can't go back out there. And I was like, oh my God, why are you insufferable? And I'm like, I don't know. I'm just like this. Haha, you know? Maybe she's born with it. Maybe it's Maybelline. Anyway, so I sit there and I'm like, oh, bigger genius idea. How about I get the other bags and I put the Dr. Peppers in those bags and then I carry it over my shoulder, right? So I did just that. I put two 12-packs in a cloth bag from Trader Joe's, it over my shoulder where I have all the other bags of stuff in it, and I'm holding my basket on my forearm like this, and then I have the third Dr. Pepper in this hand, and I look like a moron. Like I'm just... Like I look like I came to the store, didn't think this through, and didn't want to go to a cart. Well, I did think it through, I just didn't want to get a cart because there was 2 men out there, they're gonna ask me questions. So then I go to the checkout, but they only had 2 checkouts open, and the lines were super long. And I was like, well, I don't want to hold this stuff for this long, and nor do I want to set it down. So I go to the self-checkout, which I know what you're thinking, Kate, why is this because the machines, I don't know if y'all have been to Ralph's, the machines yell at you. They go, please enter your butt, like they scream. And I'm like, I don't want people to know I'm buying how many onions. I don't want them to know, you know? So I go over and I'm scanning everything and I just, 1 Dr. Pepper, 2 Dr. Pepper, 3 Dr. Pepper, and then I had to do all of my soup and the rice and the blah, 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 the whipping cream, and then I was doing it all. And then I was like, okay, check out, blah, 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 and I was done. And then I had to put all of that in the bags again, and I was like, this is fine. And so then I pick up all the bags, all the Dr. Peppers are in the bags, and I'm putting them all over my shoulders, and I'm like, I'm gonna look like a moron, but I'm also gonna look like a donkey because I'm hauling all of this stuff, you know, I'm just like a pack mule. So then I go out the door, and sure enough, they're both there, and they go, oh, excuse me. I'm like, I'm so sorry, I just gotta go. I'm sorry, I just gotta go. They're like, oh, have a good day. I was like, thank you, you too. And then I forgot I had to bring all this stuff inside. The good news though is like, it wasn't that bad. It definitely could have been worse. Definitely could have been heavier. Definitely one of the bags could have broken. So a lot of bad things could have happened that didn't happen. Every time I have a moment like this, it just reminds me of like all the awkward things I've ever done in my entire life. One time when I was 14, I was at my aunt's school because she was a teacher. Because I guess sometimes I would just sit in her class. It was fun, you know, whatever. And because I was 14, you know, I didn't know, I did it my whole life, you know, didn't really care. It was, you know, I'm not at school. They are, haha, you know. I will never forget, I don't know why I didn't process this, and it has killed me every single day. I'm gonna ask you a question, okay? If you're just sitting there, and then, you know, say your family member is talking to another person who's like 2 years older than you, right? And they go, oh, it's their birthday today. What would you do? Because I'll tell you what I did, right? My aunt goes, oh, it's Katarina's birthday today. And I go, oh, what is wrong with you? Why didn't I like in my head, I'm like, you know, like 3 days later, I was like, why didn't I say happy birthday? Like that, I just went, oh, what? That keeps me up at night, man. And then there's another time. This is more recent. Oh, it was 6 years ago. I should be over this by now. Anyway, I made food one time. It was my first time ever making Japanese curry, right? And I made it and I was like, not that good. The potatoes kind of, you know, disintegrated. And then someone, you know, that I was living with brought over a lot of friends and he's like, oh, try her food. And I was like, it's not that good. It's not that good. I'm really sorry. It's my first time making it. Haha, it's not that good. And they tried it. They're like, no, it's pretty good. And I was like, thank you, but you don't have to lie. Like, I know it's not good, you know. Anyway, so skip forward a few weeks and then met the same people, those same friends. Like I went to an event and they were there and then we were chatting and then one of them goes, oh yeah, by the way, I was inspired by your Japanese curry, so I tried to make it myself. So I made it last night. I was like, oh, was it better than mine? The moment it left my mouth, the look on his face, I was like, oh, he didn't realize I was saying that as like a joke, not as like he took it as a threat. Like, oh, was it better than mine? Like, oh, am I a better chef? Like, oh, that keeps me up at night. Because sometimes I say things, but because I'm awkward, it comes out wrong. The thing is like, I didn't really know them too well, and I was really trying to like be more present because I tend to just kind of get timid, you know, but like I just sometimes if I'm comfortable with you and if I'm like vibing, then I don't stop talking and I'm just you know. But for the most part, if I'm in like a group setting, I'm just. But yeah, at the grocery store, I just like, I'd rather carry around like 40 pounds of food and Dr. Pepper than go get a cart and potentially seeing them again. Do you do that? Maybe it was just that day, because there could have been another day where I would just be like, I don't care, I'm gonna go get a cart. Or I'm just like this, I don't know, it's fine. This is why we live in the dungeon, you know? We don't go outside, this is great. We stay inside, we don't touch grass. Inside is grass. Let me know if you have any similar stories that keeps you up at night. Doesn't matter how long ago, doesn't matter how short ago. It's any story is a good story. But anyways, thank you for listening to my story. Hope you guys have a fantastic day. Safe travels. Goodbye.